History is boundless, and I missed a few records in my last video, so I'm here with some more in a supplemental way. I'm also using this as a chance to practice this style of animation, so bear with me. Without further ado, let's hop in. First, this is a statue of the Greek goddess Nike to really enforce the feeling of achievement and pride in the records broken in this video. One team that I didn't even have a record for last time was the Minnesota Twins, so we will start there. Byron Buxton had a wonderful, relatively healthy season, and is now tied for most target field home runs ever. Sneaky little Trevor Plouffe action. The most outcry I saw from the last video was the fact that Toronto Blue Jays broke the record for most hits in a 3-game series with 63. I would like to point out that it was against Colorado, in Colorado, but either way, this is just a ridiculous stat. It's the most hits since 1933. The Houston Astros' luck has caught up with them. According to Ben on the Top, the 2025 Astros had the most IL stints for any team ever. Fun fact, I traded for Yordan Alvarez in fantasy baseball a week before he went on IL for 115 straight days. It was brutal. They also led the league in F4 loss due to injury. The Chicago Cubs managed to break their single-game franchise home run record this year when they got 8 dingers from 5 guys on the 4th of July. Sounds wrong. The Yankees also managed to do this, except they hit 9 dingers and they did it twice. Maybe those torpedo bats did make some kind of impact. That being said, I can't say enough about Aaron Judge. What I will say is that he set the highest mark in expected slugging percentage ever. Say what you want about expected stats, but nobody since 2015 has been expected to achieve more bases per at-bat than 2025 Aaron Judge. Apart from any award race, that is just historical matching. We're now going to divert our attention to something I call the Triangle of Almosts as a tribute to those who almost wrote their name in the history books this year, starting with the Yankees. The New York Yankees were one Anthony Volpe home run away from tying the 2019 Twins record for most players with 20 home runs in a season. This guy cannot catch a break, even in a surface level hypothetical statistical analysis. I am pulling for the guy next year. Staying in the AL East, the 2025 Chandler Simpson-led Rays managed to tie the 2009 Carl Crawford-led Devil Rays for the franchise record for most steals in a season. Late 2010's Arenado is the defensive gold standard for the modern third baseman. The fact that Ke'Bryan Hayes even came close to accruing more outs above average than him is ridiculous. Hayes deserves his flowers after being dealt at the deadline. Defense travels. Alright, getting back to the records that were actually broken, I made a mistake in my last video. The Brewers did break their franchise record, they didn't tie it. They won their 97th game on the last game of the year. I must have done it on that day and it didn't reset. Yeah. Oh, Lourdes Gurriel Jr., my purple-haired left fielder. He managed to send a 103.9-mile-an-hour fastball into the left field seats at Chase Field, which is the fastest pitch ever homered on in the StatCast era. Obviously, the biggest storyline of the final week was how the Tigers managed to piss away a 15-game lead, but it really ended up being a wash, didn't it? Another thing I got grief for in the last video was not mentioning Trevor Rogers' incredible season in Baltimore. He absolutely turned it around and pitched to a 1.81 ERA, the lowest in Orioles history. However, not in the franchise history. If we want to go all the way back to the St. Louis Browns, Barney Pelty, Jack Powell, and Hall of Famer Eddie Plank all bested Rogers. However, this was back when baseball was played with a beanbag, so I will give Rogers a pass this time. It's just proper that Trevor Rogers was starting in what became the most satisfying half hour of the Baltimore Orioles season. On September 6th, the Dodgers came to Camden Yards and took it over. Yamamoto had a no-hitter through 26 outs, and the offense had managed 3 runs going into the 9th. That's a 99% win rate if I've ever seen one. However, baseball was played, and to put it simply, baseball happened. I think that Pagas could have made a better effort on that first fly ball, but it doesn't really matter anymore. The Dodgers became the first team to lose the lead after dealing 8 2/3 no-hit innings. Thank you for watching this video. If you haven't seen the first one, here it is if you're interested. Otherwise, check out the channel. There's going to be more stuff like this. I hope to see you again.